Okay, so welcome. We are going to be doing a bit of a flow today for bikers. So for people that are on bicycles, that maybe need a little pit stop, and to stretch out. And specifically for my dear friends, Sam and Marianne, that are far away and need a little love, a little body love for their bike trip. So find yourself in a sitting position if you can, if it's available to you. Otherwise you can do the following pose. Standing up, but preferably something under your butt, like a cushion, so that your hips are a little higher and your knees are below your hips ideally, pushing your butt out of your hips, just elongating your spine here a little bit, tucking your tailbone, and just breathing for a second. So ideally you let your heart rate come down just a little bit after your arduous bike ride, just so that you're able to connect to your breath a little bit more. So breathe here a little bit. If you're standing up, just find yourself in a mountain pose. Feet hip distance apart. Standing strong through your spine, hips tucked under. And then from here, once you've been able to connect with your breath, and that can take as long as it needs to, let's go into eagle arms. So bring your arms up, and then bring your right arm underneath your left, hooking your palms together. If this isn't accessible to you, then go ahead and put the backs of your hands together. Or if this is still too much, you can put your hands to your shoulders. And if your hands are on your shoulders, you're bringing your elbows up. And then if you're able to hook your arms, that's one thing, and you're able to bring your elbows up so that your upper arms are parallel to the ground, great. And then work on pushing your forearms away from your face. So you're feeling the stretch in your back of your shoulders after pushing on those handlebars all day. And breathe here. Letting your shoulders sink away from your ears. Slowly release. Roll your neck a little bit. Breathing into that. And then bring your arms up again, this time swinging your left arm underneath your right. And again, if you can hook your palms so that they're together, great. If you have your palms back to back, that's great. Otherwise, you're here, and if you are hands on shoulders, you're just working towards pushing your elbows away from your body. So wherever you're at, you're breathing, you're feeling the stretch in your arms, you're bringing your elbows high, pushing your forearms away from your face, stretching the backs of your shoulders. Awesome. Your rhomboids are getting length here, your trapezius is feeling this. Breathing. Slowly release. Great. Since we're here, why don't we go ahead and swing one leg over the other so that let's start with your left foot. So, your right foot. So your right foot is on the ground and your toe is on the ground. And give yourself a twist here. So you can either hug your knee into your body, or you can hook your left elbow around your right knee, and then bring your right hand behind you and twist, gazing over the right shoulder. Breathing in, exhaling, maybe twisting a little bit more, looking behind you. So you're twisting your body, and I also feel it in my right hip, which is great to stretch after a day of biking. So twisting, this is really great for your organs, your internal organs as well. And I'm glancing behind my shoulder. Slowly release. And then switch your feet. So again, I want both of my hips kind of on the ground here, and my right foot straight on the ground. My left foot straight on the ground, my left big toe kind of wedging into my mat. So keeping that contact, taking my left hand this time, placing it behind me. And it's totally fine to hug your left knee into your body and glance behind you. This feels great. Or if you want, You can hook your right elbow around your left knee and you glance as far as you can. So some people are right here, never straining your neck, so don't strain your neck ever. Look wherever feels appropriate, but to get a good twist, if it feels okay, it's great to kind of let your gaze wander behind you. It emphasizes the twist in your body, again gives that wringing out of your organs. And breathe here. Feeling it in your left hip this time, grounding through that big toe again. Slowly release. All right, now move your props out of the way if you have any. Come to your hands and knees. Tabletop position, so bringing your knees below your hips and your wrists below your shoulders. Let's go ahead and do some cat-cows here, warming up the spine, letting it release in a new way. So inhale, cow. Glancing up, letting your belly come down. Exhale, cat. Your spine comes up, your head comes down. Feeling the expansion. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And while we're here, let's go ahead and move our spine in the other direction too. So jut your hip out to the left, glance at it if you can with your head. And the other side, jut your hip up on the other side. So now we're just moving our spine. We moved it up and down. Now we're using it side to side. And then maybe some organic movements. I like to kind of just circle my spine around a little bit. Okay, great. So now you've done a little spine work. Another great shoulder stretch I might as well do since I'm here is we're going to thread the needle. So go ahead and just reach up with your right hand and then bring it underneath your left and let your cheek touch the mat, pushing away with your left hand, letting your ear come to the mat and breathing. Maybe your gaze is going a little higher up. So I feel this in my shoulders and my upper back. It's really great. Release up. Go ahead and put it up. Counter stretch there. Start with my hand up. And then thread the needle the other way. Left hand goes underneath the right. Oh, left ear comes to the mat. Just felt a nice little pop in my lower back. That felt really good. And I'm glancing up. Again, feeling it in my shoulder. Breathing here. And coming up. Again, when you're riding that bike, potentially putting more pressure on your shoulders and you realize sinking into them, so it's nice to warm those up. So we're going to go into downward dog, so go ahead and make a nice V with your body, curling your toes under, lifting your hips high, stretching through your legs. This is great. Again, expansion through your shoulders. Ooh, feels really good. And then we're going to come down into dolphin down. So come down on your forearms and grasp your hands together. And this adds an added benefit of stretching through your shoulders right in here. Okay? This is great. Breathing. Awesome. Come back into your down dog. Go ahead and reach that right foot high. Bring it between your hands into high lunge. And then inhale, we're going to go into warrior two. So bring that back heel down. Back toes facing 45 degrees. Swivel your hands around into a strong warrior two. Your front knee over your ankle. You're opening your stance. You're widening your arms. Your gaze is over the front fingers of your front hand there, your right hand, sinking into your foot. Warrior two. Great. Okay, now we're going to exhale into triangle pose. So straightening that front leg, jut forward a little bit, and then tick-tock your hands down. So your hands can be on your shins. So the emphasis is on opening your hips here. Okay, so you don't want to sink down too far and then your hips close. You want to keep your hips open. So your hips can either be all the way up here, avoiding the knee. You can put your hand either above your knee if that's where you're at, or below, or down on your ankle. Or if you're really flexy, you're feeling good today, you might be able to touch the floor on the outside of your foot. And again, your gaze can be down, out, or up here. Just working towards opening that body. And you feel a stretch now in your side body. And when you're here, you might as well just reach over your head, get an added benefit of a little extra stretch in your side body. your left side body. Feel a nice little stretch in my hamstring and my right leg as well. And now come on up. We're gonna do a reverse triangle. So just tick-tock your hands the other way, finding your calf on the other side, letting your arm come overhead, feeling the stretch now on my other side. Breathing. And windmill your arms down. Finding your high planks, let that back foot come up, find your downward dog. Find your dolphin dog, bringing your forearms down. Feel the stretch in your shoulders. Great. Come on up to down dog again. Lift your left leg up. Bring it between your hands. High lunge. High lunge feels really good for me here as well. I feel it in my hamstrings. I feel it in my hips. So this is a really great energized pose. And I'm going to inhale into warrior two on my left side. So bring your back heel down. Toes at a 45-degree angle. Inhale your arms, windmill them around. And warrior two on this side. So allowing your for your left knee here to be over your ankle, back leg is straight, body's facing towards the side, arms long, gaze forward. Inhaling here, exhale, sink into your warrior two. Inhale, straighten that front leg, jet forward a little bit, tick-tock your hands down to the shin, or maybe to the floor. And your gaze can be down, out, or up, never straining the neck. You guys are straining your neck already enough in bike riding, so you don't need to straighten it anymore. So down here is great. And the added benefit of looking up if you can, if that feels okay, is just the ability to opening your body a little bit more, which is nice. And then why don't you stretch that hand overhead. Just feel a little bit more of a stretch in your side body. And then with intention, I'm going to bend my forward knee a little bit, come out of that, straighten it again, and then tilt back, letting my arms come into reverse triangle, feeling a side bend along my side body. Ooh, a little bit of a back bend too. And then cartwheel your hands down, find your down dog. I'm going to actually kind of jog my legs out here a little bit. Feeling that in my hips. Woo. Walk your hands forward, between your hands. Forward fold, grab opposite elbows, opposite hands, and hang. So putting as much bend in your legs here as feels good. You never want to strain the back of your legs. So maybe you're right here, that feels really good, and that's awesome. And maybe your legs are straight and that feels okay. Go ahead and switch the grip on your hands. So different elbow to different tops of your elbows, different hand positioning. Just allowing your elbows to stretch out a little bit. Shake your head yes and no. Bring weight a little forward on the balls of your feet. Pick up your toes so you're not grasping with your toes. So none of these poses should you ever be grasping your toes. Okay, drop your hands. Let's bring our feet together. We're going to go into chair pose now. So you're going to inhale your arms high above your head. Sink into your feet as if you're sitting on a chair, letting your hips go back. Arms by your ears. Pick up all 10 toes now and glance down and make sure you can see your toes. Great. Bring your hands to heart center. And we're going to do a twist here for you guys. So inhale. Exhale, sink deep. Let all the air out of your tummy. And let's twist to the left. Bringing right elbow to left knee. And just twist open. Bringing your thumbs as close to your heart sacrum as you can. Keeping that twist. Looking down, making sure neither of your knees are jutting forward, but they're even. And then again, your gaze can be down, out, or up to intensify the twist. Feeling a nice stretch in your shoulders as well. And if this feels okay, if this feels a little rough on your wrist, go ahead and make a fist with your wrist. But you're pushing against that leg to allow yourself to twist deeper here. Sinking into your chair. Slowly release. Heel toe your feet apart. And we're going to do the gorilla pose, or hands to feet, where you're putting your hands all the way underneath your feet. So again, bend your knees as much as you need to be able to put your hands all the way under your feet so that your toes are kissing your ankles, and then hang down. If your elbows come out at all, they're coming out to the side, not back, but to the side. Feeling a more intense stretch in the back of your legs here. Breathe. Alright, fully release. Bring your feet back together to touch. Inhale into chair pose again. Arms by your ears, sinking down deep. Letting your knees come not any forward. They want them to come forward, but not past your toes. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhaling to prepare. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. Twisting to the right this time, left elbow to right knee. Making sure neither of your knees are jutting in either direction. Again, pushing against that right leg to let yourself twist a little bit more here. Maybe you're balancing up. If balance is ever an issue in this pose, just bring your feet a little farther apart. You can also put your elbow in between your knees if having them together and putting your elbow on the outside of your right knee isn't available to you. So, coming out of that twist, hang a little bit here. Woo, and forward fold. Awesome. And then windmill your hands all the way up, slowly coming up into mountain pose, allowing yourself to look up, give yourself a little back bend here. Hands to heart center. Okay, we're gonna go into pyramid pose. So go ahead and put your right foot a little farther behind your left. Your left foot a little bit behind your right, excuse me. And with a short stance, I only have about a foot or two between my feet, but they're both straight. Okay? And now if you can, for this first pose, your hips are facing forward, and this is a great, intense opener. So with your legs like this and flat, I just want you to hinge forward and come onto the ground. So I feel it really intensely in my right hip, and it feels really good. I'm going to add a little added bonus here, and I'm going to plant my left hand down and stretch my right arm up for extended pyramid here. Come on down. Just going to do the same on the other side just for fun. Oh yeah. Awesome. Woo. Come on up. Okay, switch feet. And for this side, I'm going to start by bringing my arms together behind my back, interlacing my fingertips, and then hinging forward. My arms behind my back, interlaced. And if you have your palms together, it'll intensify your shoulder stretch. And if you have them apart, it'll be a little bit different. Neither of them are good or bad. You can try both. And just see which one feels better. For me, I'm going to have my palms apart and just let them drop behind me. So let's bring our hands to the ground again. Bringing your right hand to the ground, left up. Added twist changes things a little bit. Bring it back down, left hand on the ground, arm high. So if your hands aren't able to touch the ground here, you can bring a prop, ideally a block, but maybe you have your bike bag that you want to put your hand on so that you're able to push into it and twist. Okay, come on up. Bring your feet together. Okay, so for this one, we're going to do a little hip opener. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and bring your right foot onto your left knee, arms overhead, and you're going to sink into your hips. So you're feeling the stretch here. If this feels really awesome and easy and you're feeling a stretch in your hip, you can also decide to drop your hands down a little bit more, bringing your hips further down. Awesome. Feeling the stretch here. I feel it in my right hip a lot. This feels great. Slowly come up. And then switch. Bringing your left ankle to your right knee. Sinking in, bringing your arms high. Oof, yeah. Sinking into your hips. Bringing that left knee down towards the ground. Again, coming down if you want. If you really want to play and you're feeling adventurous, I'll just show you something fun. You can also bring your hands all the way on the ground, forward fold all the way. There's an arm balance there, but I'm gonna skip it. Okay, so you're coming out of your square. And then when you're out of it, let's do a wide-legged forward fold. So bring your legs wide, pigeon toe your feet a little bit so you're able to kind of grip them. Hands on the hips. For a second, just wiggle out your hips, whatever feels good. That feels good to circle them for me. Arms wide, hinged forward, aiming for your hands to come between your toes. Let your head drop. Ooh, I'm going to bring my hands behind my head. Awesome. Hang on here for a second. Cool. So bring your hands to your hips. Slowly come up to avoid the head rush. Ooh, slight back bend, a counter bend. Awesome. Okay, let's come onto the floor now. So you're going to come onto your belly first. We're just going to do a little bit of a strengthener, but it also is awesome for your low back since you've been working your low back. So come onto the mat all the way. Bring your hands onto the mat, palms facing down. And then go ahead and you're going to inhale and you're going to bring your chest off the mat and your legs. You're going to bring everything off the mat and look up. Locust pose. Yeah, so going in the opposite direction with your body than the way you bike. One more inhale. And exhale, we're going to do one more round of that. So this time, you can do the locust again, or you could decide to do floor bow. If you want to do floor bow, if this is accessible to you, I really want to make sure you have flexibility in your back. So for floor bow, you're going to bring your legs up. You're going to go for, and again, you're just doing locust if this doesn't feel good, but you're grabbing your feet on the outside of your feet, bringing your knees together, so you're never bowing your knees out. You're keeping your knees as close together as you can. They may not be touching, but they should be close. And then with an inhale, you're bringing everything up again, kicking into your feet. Gaze can be forward, breathing. And come on down. Okay, bring your hands by your legs. Bring your hands down, uncurl your toes and come into down dog. Stretch it out. Yeah. Walk your hands up and find your seat. And then find your back. So we're going to go into bridge. So for this one, bring your arms alongside your body. Your toes, your heels, touching your hands. And then lift your hips up, nudging your shoulders underneath your body. Bring your hands together underneath your back and lift your hips. Woo. Nice variation that I like to do if it's available is I do a slight supported bridge by bringing my hands on my sacrum right here and allowing myself to sink a little bit. So this feels good to me. If this doesn't feel good to you, then just leave your arms intertwined but underneath your body. And slowly release down. Now, if wheel is in your practice, the next one will be wheel. Otherwise, you're going to go into another set of bridge. But go ahead in the meantime and just let your knees shake from one side to the other. Windshield wipering. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Awesome. And then getting ready to do the next. Have your feet up close to your hips. And maybe you're going into wheel. So your hands are by your ears up here. And you're pushing through your feet. And you're going into your wheel for a couple breaths. And maybe that's enough. Maybe you're up there a little bit longer, coming down nice and intentionally. Bringing your soles of your feet together for a supine cobbler's pose with your feet together, knees wide. I like to have my arms out. I'm rocking a little bit. You can have your hands on your legs, pushing them down a little bit. And since we're on our back, let's do another supine pigeon pose. So bringing your knees back together, take your right foot, place it over your left. Take your right ankle and place it over your left knee to be specific. And then reach behind your left leg, so you're grasping the back of your thigh, and I'm bringing my leg closer to me. Now, if this feels really easy, if you have really open hips, you can also have your left leg behind, your left arm behind your left leg, and then your right hand kind of gently pushing on your right knee to intensify the stretch. Okay, so I'm right here, I'm feeling it in my hips. I don't have the most open hips, so not letting your shoulders crunch into your ears. So let your shoulders fall away from your ears, but again, working that left leg close to your body, feeling the stretch in your right hip. Breathing. This whole time it's great to practice Ujjayi breath, which is in and out of your nose. It builds more heat in your body. Exhale, slowly put down your foot, switch feet. And bring your right leg up closer to your body. This time your left ankle's on your right knee. And you're finding your pigeon, and then you're breathing, opening up those hips a little bit. Slowly bringing your feet down, extending your legs, extending your arms. Awesome. I'm going to go into bridge one more time, because that feels good to me. High bridge. Oh, counter pose. Pigeon a little bit there. I'm going to show my legs one more time. And then happy baby real quick. So grabbing the insides of my feet, bringing them up, bringing my knees, kind of pushing them into my body, rocking my sacrum a little bit, like this. Awesome. And then this is our Shavasana, is our corpse pose at the end of this little series. We're going to do legs up the wall. So hopefully you have a little prop, and maybe that's just your bike bag or something that you want to put underneath your sacrum, underneath your butt, close to a wall of some sort. And it'd be awesome if you could just plant your legs up and then make a little T with your arms, so a little goal post with your arms. And then just allow yourself to relax for a minute. With your legs elevated, letting them flush out. You've been working them, so allowing them a little rest here will allow fresh blood into those limbs that have been working so hard all day, and will allow for some mental clarity. This is really great for your brain. It's really great for your digestive system. Just releasing for a little bit. Take out the crease between your eyebrows, let your eyebrows drop. Take out the tension in your jaw, close your eyes. And maybe if there's no wall, maybe you're just laying down flat on your back. Just do that for a minute or two at the end of stretching. You may be in a rush, you may feel like you have somewhere to be, your next destination, but giving yourself a minute or two of rest, of just letting your body absorb the stretches that you just did, will allow it to actually shift. And be a little bit less sore next time, or allow yourself to go a little bit deeper into the stretches we did. So do this position for as long as you'd like. Put this on pause. I recommend staying here for 15 minutes if you can. Take a little nap. Otherwise, roll slowly over onto your side. And use your arms to help you come up. And I hope that everybody has safe travels and able to stay centered. Stay away from those big bad cars. Peace. Namaste.